to find and fix causes of your bad habits. In late 2012, I was sitting in an old apartment just a few blocks from Istanbul. Most famous street is Istiklal Kadesi. I was in the middle of 4 day trip of Turkey, and my guide in Mike was relaxing in one armchair a few feet away. Mike wasn't really a guide; he was just a guy from Mene who had been living in Turkey for 5 years, but he offered to show me around while I was visiting the country, and I took him on it. On this particular night, I had been invited to dinner with him and handful of his Turkish mates. There were 7 of us. I was the only one who hadn't at some point smoked at least one pack of cigarettes per day. I asked one of the Turks how he got started. Friends, he said, it always starts with your friends. One friend smokes, then you try it. What was truly fascinating was that half of the people in the room had managed to quit smoking. Mike had been smoke free for years at that point, and he swore, he swore up and down that he broke the habit because of a book called Alan Carr's Easy Way to Stop Smoking. It's free it frees you from the mental burden of smoking, he said. It tells you stop lying to yourself. You know you don't actually want to smoke. You know you don't really enjoy this. It helps you feel like you are not the victim anymore. You will start to realize that you don't need to smoke. I had never tried a cigarette, but I took a look at the book afterward out of curiosity. हाँ, बोलो शिवानी. 1 मिनट में बुक पढ़ लूँ फिर डालती हूँ. The author employs an interesting strategy to help smokers eliminate their cravings. He systematically reframes each one associated with smoking, gives it a new meaning. He says things like, you think you are quitting something, but you are quitting anything because cigarettes do nothing for you. Think smoking is something you need to do to be social, but it's not. You can be social without smoking at all. You think smoking is about retrieving stress, but it's not. Smoking does not relieve your nerves, it's destroy them. Over and over he repeats these phrases and others like them. Get it clearly into your mind, he says. You are losing nothing and you are making marvelous positive gains, not only in health, energy, and money, but also in confidence, self respect, freedom, and most important of all, in the length and the quality of your future life. By the time you get the end of the book, smoking seems like the most ridiculous thing in the world to do, and if you no longer expect smoking to bring you any belief, you have no reason to smoke. It is an inversion of second law of behavior change, make it unattractive. Now I know this idea might sound over simplistic, just change your mind and quit smoking, but stick with me for a minute. When come from, every behavior has a surface level craving and a deeper underlying motive. I often have a craving that goes something like this. I want to eat tacos, tacos. If you were to ask me why I would not say because I need food to survive, but the truth is somewhere deep down I am motivated to eat tacos because I have to eat to survive. The underlying motive is to obtain food and water, even if my specific cravings is for a taco. Some of our underlying motives include conserve energy, obtain food and water, find love and reproduce, connect and bond with others, win social approval, reduce uncertainty, achieve status and prestige. A craving is just a specific manifestation of a deeper underlying motive. Your brain not evolve with a desire to smoke cigarette, to check Instagram and to play video games. Yeah, they will simply want to reduce uncertainty and relieve an anxiety. To win social acceptance and approval or to achieve status, look at nearly any product that is habit forming and you will see that it does not create a new motivation but rather latches on to the underlying motives of human culture. Find love and to reproduce using it and bond with others, browsing Facebook, win social acceptance and approval, posting on Instagram, reduce uncertainty, search for Google. Playing video game. Your habits are modern day solutions to ancient desired new version of old vices. As is the underlying motive behind human behavior remain the same. The specific habit we perform differ based on the period of history. Here's the powerful part. There are many different ways to address the same underlying motive. One person might learn to reduce stress by smoking a cigarette. Another person learn ease their anxiety by going for a run. Your current habit not necessarily the best way of solve the problem by face. They are just a method you learn to use. One you associated a solution with a you need to solve. You keep coming back to it. Habits are all about association. These associations determine whether we predict a habit to be worth repeating or not. As we covered in our of the first law, your brain is continually absorbing the information and noticing cues environment. Every time you perceive a cue, your brain runs a simulation and makes a prediction about what to do in the next moment. You notice that the stove is hot. Prediction: I will touch, I will get burned. So I should avoid touching it. You see the traffic light turn green. Prediction: if I step on the gas, I will make it safely through the intersection, get closer to my destination. So I should step on gas. You see accuracy is it based on the past experience and determine the implicit response. This all happens in an instant, but it plays a crucial role in your habits because every action is preceded by a prediction. Life feels reactive, but it is actually predictive. All day long, you are making your best guess of how to act given what you have just seen and what has worked for you in the past. You are endlessly predicting that what will happen in the next moment. Our behavior is heavily dependent on that these production put another way. Our behavior hmm, is heavily dependent on how we interpret the events that happens to us, not necessarily the objective reality of events themselves. Two people can look at the same cigarette and one feels the urge to smoke while the other is repulsed by the same smell. The same the same cue spark a good habit or a bad habit depending on 100 ग्राम लाए थे हम लोग यार, 200 ग्राम का पैसा ले लिया. The cause of your habits is actually the production that precedes them. These production lead to feelings, which is how we typically describe a craving, a feeling, a desire, an urge. Feelings and emotions transform the cues we perceive and the predictions we make into signal that we can apply. They help plan what we are currently sensing concerns whether or not you realize you are noticing how warm or cold you feel right now. If the temperature drops by 1 degree, you probably won't do anything. If the temperature drops 10 degree, however, you cold put on the another layer of clothing. Feeling cold was signal that prompted you to act. You have been sensing cues entire time, but it is only when you predict that you would be better off in the different state that you take action. A craving is a sense that something is missing. It is the desire to change your internal state. When the temperature falls, there is a gap between two bodies currently sensing and what is the wants to sensing. This gap between your current state and your desired state provides a reason to act. Desire is between where you are now and where you want to be in future. Even the tiniest section is tinged with the motivation of feel differently than you do in the moment when you binge eat or light up or browse social media. What you really want is not a potato chips or a cigarette or a bunch of likes. What you really want is to feel different. Our feelings and emotions tells us whether to hold steady in our current state. To make changes, they help us decide the best course of action. Neurologists have discovered that when emotions and feelings are impaired, we actually lose the ability to make decisions. We have no signal of what to purpose and what to avoid. As a neuroscientist Antonio Damasio explained, it is emotion that allows you to mark things as good, bad, or indifferent. To summarize, specific craving you feel and habits you perform are really an attempt to address your fundamental underlying motives. Whenever a habit successfully addresses a motive, you develop a craving to do it again. In time, you learn to predict and checking social media will help you feel loved or what, and that watching YouTube will allow you to forget your fears. Habits to attract when we associate them with the positive feel, and we can use this insight to our advantage rather than to our determination. That's remind how to program your brain to enjoy hard habits. You can make hard habits more attractive if you can associate them with positive experience. Sometimes all you need is to a slight mind set shift. For instance, we often talk about everything we have to do in a given day. You have to wake up early for a work, you have to make another sales call for a business, you have to cook dinner for your family. Now imagine changing just one word. You don't have to, you get to wake up early for work, you get to make another sales call for your business. You get to cook dinner for your family. By simply changing one word, you shift the way you view each event. Your transition from seeing these behaviors as burdens and turns them into opportunities. The key point is that both versions really are true. You have to do those things and get to do them. You can find some evidence or whatever mindset we choose. I once heard a story about a man who used a wheelchair. When asked if it was difficult being confined, he responded, "I am not confined to my wheelchair. I am liberated by it. If it wasn't for my wheelchair, I would be bedbound and never able to leave my house." This shift in perspective completely transferred how he lived. Is a reframing your habits to highlight their benefits rather than their drawbacks is a fast and lightweight way to reprogram your mind and make a habit seem more attractive. Exercise exercise many people associate exercise with the being of challenging task that drains energy and wears you down. You can just as easily use it as to develop skills, build you up instead of telling yourself, "I need to go run in the Mornings, it's time to build duration and get fast. Finance, save money is often associated with sacrifice. However, you can it with freedom rather than in limitation. If you realize one simple truth, living below your current means increase your future means the money you save this month increase your purchasing power next month. Meditation, anyone who has tried meditation for more than 3 seconds know more how frustrating can be. It can be when the next distraction inevitably pops into your mind. You can transfer frustration into delight when you realize that each interruption gives you a chance to practice returning to your breath. Distraction is good thing because you need distraction to practice meditation. Jitters. Many people feel anxious before delivering a big presentation or competing in an important event. They experience quicker breathing, a fast heart rate, heightened arousal. If we interpret these feelings negatively, then we feel threatened and tense up. If we interpret these feelings positively, then we can respond with fluid and gracefully. You can reframe, I am nervous to I am excited. I am getting an adrenaline rush to help me concentrate. These little mindset shifts aren't magic, but they can help change the feeling you sit with the particular habit or situation. If you want to take it a step further, you can create a motivation ritual. You simply practice associating your habits with something you enjoy. Then you can use that cue whenever you need a bit motivation. Or for instance, if you always play the same song before having sex, then you will begin to link the music with that. Whenever you want to get in the mood, just press play. Ed Littlemore, a boxer and a writer from Pittsburgh, benefited from a similar strategy without knowing it. Realization. He wrote, my focus and concentration goes up just by putting my headphone while writing. I don't even have to play any music without realizing it. He was conditioning himself. In the beginning, he put his headphones on, played music he enjoyed, and did focus work. After doing it 5, 10, 20 times, putting his headphones on become a cue that he automatically associated with the increased focus. The craving followed. Naturally, athletes use similar strategies to get themselves in the mindset to perform during a baseball career. I developed a specific ritual form of stretching and throwing before each game. The whole sequence took about 10 minutes, and I did the same. Was every single time. While it physically warmed me up, play more importantly, it put me in the right mental state. I began associate my pre-game ritual with feeling competitive and focused, even if I felt motivated beforehand. By the time I was done with my ritual, I was in game mode. You can adapt this strategy for nearly any purpose. Say you want to feel happy in general, find thing that makes you truly happy, like petting your dog and taking a bubble bath, and then create short routine that you perform every time before you do the thing you love. Make you take 3 deep breaths and smile. 3 deep breaths, smile, pet the dog. Eventually you will begin to associate this breathe and smile routine with it being in a good mood. It becomes a cue that means feeling happy. Once established, you think break it out anytime to change emotional state. Straight one. Take, take 3 deep breaths and smile. Said about love. Deep breath and smile. Once a habit has been built, the cue can prompt a craving. Even it has a little to do with the situation. The key of finding and fixing the cause of your bad habits is to frame the association you have about them. It's not easy, but if you can reprogram your prediction, you can transform a hard habit into attractive one.